let's just dance, dance. Let's just dance, baby. I just wanna dance, 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 dance. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Can you come and brace it? All of this electricity, do it right now, right now. Turn the volume up loud, give me your electricity.
Welcome back to the bar. I feel like I say it the same way every time. Welcome back to the bar. This is one of your two favorite childhood bitches, Christy.
And the other, Kelly.
Yes, we're the bitches.
Yes,
Mark mocks me so much when I say that. He's like, oh, it's one of the bitches. I think we're funny, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that my microphone isn't obnoxiously loud. A couple of episodes ago, it was so freaking loud and everyone's like, Christy needs to settle on the volume. It didn't sound loud to me when I was recording
it. Doesn't sound loud to me either.
But when I went and played it back, I am like screaming in people's ears. It's obnoxious.
Huh.
So I'm really trying hard not to sound so loud on this week's episode. So
I got my new earphones.
I know we're twins.
I know, but you know what? They're so weird. I'm having a hard time hearing.
I wonder if that little button on the side helps turn the volume up. Oh no, you just muted yourself.
I did?
Yeah. Don't mute yourself.
Okay, I guess. Am I good now?
Yeah. I guess we figured out what that button does.
I think they're more noise canceling or something. I feel like my voice is echoing in my head.
You have voices in your head.
Wait, this stupid episode. This episode just turned on again.
See, Kelly and I are constantly battling always technical difficulties that you guys are unaware of.
Not you, me.
No, how about the day that we tried to do the live and we just couldn't?
Oh yeah, we were really bad at that.
I was like, should I just FaceTime you and hold the picture up to the camera? I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. Let's start with thanking our Patreons this week before we get into this week's episode. All right. Thank you to all of you who went over to patreon.com/backtothebar and subscribed to our exclusive content. We're getting through all of these names. So if I haven't read your name yet, thank you for hanging in. We are definitely going to get to you. You guys, every time I think we're catching up, though, I have 75 new pages to read. So we're just doing our best. But let's start by thanking Sarah, Emily, Susanna, Kirsten, Frank, Jossie, or Joss, Adrian, Mimi, Sarah, Lacey, Camilla, Brooke, Katie, Emma, Benjamin, Logan, Susan, Drewby, Ari, Matthew, Lana, Kara, Logan, Kayla, Nina, Kaylin, Kayla, Kristen, Zoe, Emma, Isabel, JC, Jordan, Alexis, Josie, Lainey, Eugene, Elia, Mackenzie, Caitlin, Aaron, Zoe, Kelly, Melissa, Carrie, Jenna, Jaden, Allie, Bethany, Halen, Daisy, Atlanta, Christy, Annabelle, Letitia, Brianna, Emma, Alexandria, Seska. Have a lot of boys this time. Elle, Will, Jenna, Alyssa, Nathan, Haley, Symphony, Allie, Katie, TJ, Victoria, Katrina, Lori, Disco Ball. I'm thinking that's a nod to me. Riley, Rashonda, Sophia, Kathleen, Grace, Becca, Kelly, Allie, Bethany, April, Aaron, Taylor, Chandler, Kendra, Emma, Caroline, Heather, Benjamin, Danica, Sarah, Travis, Gabby, Lara, Dan, Craig, Jenny, Isa, Mel, Caroline, Ashley, Lacey, Hannah, Colin, Janae, Molly, and Sophia. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Let me make my
That's
little
so exciting.
notes. I know. It is really exciting. It's always nice to like hear names because then it makes it feel more like real kind of, not just we're talking into the atmosphere.
Nobody.
Yeah. Although we're talking to each other always.
We do have some friends out there.
We have a couple, just a few. All right. Before we get into this episode, let's at least start with the fun part. What you drinking?
I'm not very exciting today. It's called Kahlua iced coffee.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's Kahlua liqueur, cold brew, milk, and ice cubes.
That sounds good. That sounds really thick. Is it thick and rich?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. No.
So it only has Kahlua, no extra vodka?
No. No, the last time I did that, remember, I was really loopy.
Speaking of
Trying
really
to stay
loopy.
away from 2 alcohols in 1 drink.
Yeah.
Might
Well,
be a
last
little
week I
too
was
much
very
for
loopy.
morning.
Yeah. Well, at least it's Friday this week.
Yeah.
At least we're recording on a Friday and not a Monday morning at 10. Like, what a way to start your week.
Exactly. Ugh. That's a good way to start your week.
Someone, before I tell you my drink, someone was listening. They actually sent, I think it was a DM, but she DM'd me or left a message somewhere. And she said, I was listening to the episode and you said Kelly was teabagging on the podcast. And she said, I literally spit my coffee out in my kitchen. I thought that was so funny.
I like that little tea bag drink. I got to get another one of those.
Oh, that's the only time you've ever said you like a tea bag in your life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I'm kicking it old school today. Wait until you see what I'm drinking.
Oh,
you ready?
God. What?
Sweet tea, vodka, and iced tea.
That's our drink.
That was our drink.
Oh my God, we drank that forever. Good thing it's in the morning because it won't keep you awake.
Oh my God.
Remember I used to awake.
Yes, I used to lay in bed at night and I'm like, why can't I sleep?
Yeah,
well, because I drank a gallon of iced tea.
Yeah, and I'm like, my little bird brain had to figure it out for you. You couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, I would lay there like this at night with my eyeballs.
All the iced tea we're drinking.
Couldn't figure out why I couldn't sleep. Oh, but I had a hard time finding the vodka.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they don't make it.
I haven't had that since the show, actually.
I haven't either. So I thought this was fun. And there's actually a shot of you drinking out of a McDonald's cup. And I was like, oh, that's sweet tea vodka. So that's what gave me the idea. So I'm kicking it old school. And I have an orange. I used an orange.
See, I do the orange too. I don't like lemon in it. I love it with orange.
Yeah.
I have an update.
What's your update?
I went about my hand.
Oh.
It is not broken.
I thought you were pregnant.
Oh God, with what? How would that happen? But no, I went about my hand. They said it is not broken.
Good.
But they think I like tore a ligament or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So all from sitting on my hand, I am definitely a fat ass. But
did you have to reenact the sit?
Yeah. They gave me steroids to take.
Oh,
to
just to decrease the swelling
down. And then I'm supposed to go to a hand specialist, but
you're going to have to do hand therapy. Well, thank God it's not broken. But what are you wearing a ring on that finger for? Isn't it swollen?
It was. I'm able to get it on. I've been on the steroids for 3 days and now I can get my ring on. So it must have been swollen.
Do those steroids make you really hungry?
Yes.
Yes.
And really awake.
Oh.
Like the other day it was 4:30 in the morning and I was like, what? That's what made me think of it. You said we were wide awake. It was like I had toothpicks in my eyes. And it was like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, please just let me go to sleep, please.
then you like take a Benadryl and then you're all fucked up because you are mixing things.
Well, I took 2 sleeping pills.
Oh, Kelly, please.
I still couldn't go to sleep. It's ridiculous. Oh well, who needs to sleep, right?
Well, we're going to get into this week's episode. So we did decide that we were going to go and do like the specials, and the reunions are coming. The reunions will have plenty to talk about, but the special is just like Abby showing clips. And I think you had mentioned before we started recording, like this is hard to do because we've talked about all of this. We've
already talked about it all. So it's kind of like just repetitive of what we're saying. So I have some comments about when she's announcing like the most outrageous moments. She says, well, a lot of it might be repetitive,
but you know, look, we'll do our best. First of all, this shouldn't be called Dance Mom's Most Outrageous Moments. This should be called like, let's humiliate Christi and Kelly on national television again.
I was thinking the same thing. It like
it's all us.
I know. Other than one, I think was Holly.
And maybe 1 or 2 was Kathy, but they weren't humiliating.
Yeah, but the one with Kathy, like, was with me.
Was you fighting?
Yeah. So, I mean, Kathy was involved, but it was still me being the idiot.
I was trying to find a drink called the Mind Eraser.
Well, because I have one. I'm going to show you. I have it on my phone. And I did not have the nerve to make it. It was kind of making me scared. Like, it's called Smith and Wesson. I don't know if you can
Ew.
see it. Smith and Wesson. And I
Oh,
thought
Christ.
because I wanted to shoot myself watching.
Oh.
But it was it was vodka, Kahlua, half and half, and then you top it off with club soda or Pepsi. I thought that might be a little weird.
That does sound weird.
So
It sounds like a white
it's
Russian,
a white
but
Russian with Pepsi
bubbly.
or yeah. I thought, wow. So I didn't make that. But
Yeah, no.
The Smith and Wesson I thought was like
Appropriate.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always get nervous. Not nervous. That's not the right word. It makes me have a visceral reaction anytime I have to listen to Abby's voice or see her, especially when she gets like an open-ended opportunity to just talk about us. So I was a little bit nauseous thinking about watching this. And so I was just like, ugh. But I will say, whenever they recorded this, I think that maybe, because I know in later specials that she does, I think she just riffs and does whatever she wants. But I think in this one, there might have been more of a teleprompter or guidance to it.
That's
because
what I
she wasn't that awful about us.
Yes. Yes. She behaved herself.
Because if they just let her have free reign, I promise you, she would have said more than this.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you 100%.
Oh, before we start, I have a question for you. This is a question a lot of people have asked me, and I think I know the answer, but I don't know if I do. So when they always show the compilation of like Dance Moms, when they show all the clips fast at the beginning, especially in season 1, there is a clip of Paige in a chin stand where she's like arched over and she's trying to grab a rose with her feet. That wasn't a dance, right? Wasn't that just something they did to work on in the studio?
I don't know. That is so funny because I just looked at that this morning thinking, like, was it even in an episode?
I don't think so. I think it was
just
a clip.
What that was. I don't know what that was.
People ask
I'm
me
assuming
often.
It was just like to see if their legs were down far enough that they could pick up the rose, maybe.
That's what I think. I think that might have been when we shot that whole thing with like booty camp that they never showed. Remember that?
Yeah,
where
maybe.
It was like how many times the girls could turn. It was how fast we could get their hair in a French twist. I think that rose is from there. And remember, she made them jump. She handed them each a 10-pound bag of potatoes.
Yes.
And said, jump across the floor. See how hard it is to leap.
It's like when you gain
10 pounds. Yeah.
Which was kind of mean, but
that's bullshit. They were going through puberty.
That's crazy though, that 10 pounds is like a 10-pound bag of potatoes. It's crazy that your body can have all that on you.
Look, you could hand me a 20-pound bag of potatoes and be like, walk up the stairs with your laundry. And I'd be like, but when they're little kids and they're going through puberty, they're going to gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. But I wonder if the rose was from then. I was thinking about that because people have asked me that all the time. And I'm like, I don't know, but I think that could have been it. So now we have a potential answer for you.
We think that's right.
Let's start. Abby comes on and it's the 15 most outrageous moments from Dance Moms. And since it was season 1, I don't think they qualify it and say in season 1. I think they just say in Dance Moms, but it really was all season 1 because we had only shot season 1
That's the only
at that
thing,
point.
Yeah.
Because trust me, a lot of these wouldn't have made it after further seasons.
Yeah. Some of them were kind of stupid.
So we're going to start with number 15. And I don't think I wrote down like what the quote was, but basically it was me at the bar. And I love that in Abby's little opening, she says, if it was up to her, she would never take any moms anywhere. But then she goes on to say these moms need to do their job. They need to sew the headpiece, make the costumes, put the makeup on, do their hair. But then she just said she doesn't want us there. But obviously she needs us.
I have that in my notes like later on in another thing when she says about us not wanting us there. But then in the same token, it's like she's a hypocrite. She wants us there when it's
convenient
good
for her.
Or
when she needs us.
Exactly. Other than that, she don't want us there.
Could you imagine her doing all the French twists though? And like putting on eyelashes? Come on.
Please. She calls me to go blow dry her hair for God's sakes.
Yeah. She couldn't put on her own eyelashes. She used to make the makeup artist come to her bedroom while she was laying in bed and put her eyelashes on.
Yeah.
Oh. So the other thing though is she was talking about how I was at the bar, but here's like the thing. is right before we walked out, I looked at her. They didn't show this. And I was like, you're good. You got her, right? Like, because she was the last one to see them before they went on stage, not us. She took them backstage.
Yeah.
So that I can't go backstage. I don't have special backstage
we're not allowed.
privileges. So how am I going to check the headband? That's on you. Then they show us obviously in the audience, and you kill me. Like, you kill me in the scene because you are cackling like a bitch.
I thought it was pretty funny. I cackle at you a lot. There's a few. I'm like rude. I'm just like laughing because I love that it's you and not me. I'm like, yay. You know, it would be me. So I'm glad it's you.
They show Abby saying, you, and I'll deal with you later. They have this little clip of me. You don't see me saying it, but you hear me. And I'm like, what's your deal? First of all, I would never say what's your deal in my lifetime. I've never said what's your deal to a human in my life.
No.
So I'm like, what is this? And then of course they show us fighting, and I'm like, her headband didn't fall off. It came forward. She's fine. But it didn't fall off. It never touched the stage.
Well, it almost would have been better if it did fall off because the poor girl couldn't see.
And she did an aerial blindfolded. Where are the kudos for that?
I know.
She needed a compliment.
And where were the kudos that something went wrong on stage and she continued to dance when she said, like, that is what they've always been taught. So
yes,
like she could have been like, you know, there was a costume malfunction, but you handled it great, Chloe. You know, like you continued dancing, you did what you were supposed to do. I'm just saying. I always try to find the positive. Yes.
Yeah, you do. She doesn't.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you see me saying, I pay your bills, which I still continue to say that's a great line.
Oh, I love that. Yes, definitely.
I pay your bills.
And we do. And yes, she constantly is saying that we never pay on time.
Oh, which I have a lot of notes about this later.
Like she says it how many times in this episode? I have never been late on my bill ever. Like I pay it in full at the beginning of the year. So,
but we're not there to defend it. And so she just gets to say whatever she wants. And then people are like, they never pay their bill. You know, because she's always walking around with her little paper stack. All right. So then number 14 is you hiring your own choreographer. And we do see Paige doing that little wiggle in the mirror again, which is a funny clip.
Yeah. Like, what is that?
I don't know, but I really wish they had shown her watching the feather. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
La, la, la.
That reminds me of baseball when your kid's out there like picking the weeds instead of like bored to death, like waiting for the ball to come to them.
Okay. And then Abby tells us once again that she has always done your numbers.
Which she lies. Like that one episode, she had Joseph do it. Like she doesn't always do my kids' numbers.
No, she doesn't.
I mean, she does, but she doesn't.
Always is always, and she doesn't always do it. So she doesn't.
Yeah. No, wait. I love it when she says she wants me to see how much a new choreographer is going to cost.
Oh, I didn't hear her say that.
Yeah, she says, I want to see if she realizes how much a new choreographer will cost. Like, hello, never called this choreographer. I never even knew his name. I am not paying for him, so I don't care how much he is. The TV show is paying for him. So worked out pretty good for me, Ab.
And we get to see in this scene your favorite dress from Dance Moms, the one that you hated, that you wore all day.
That was horrible.
Then you say Paige is nervous about the time because you're explaining to the choreographer that we don't have a lot of time. And I'm thinking, that's what's making Paige really nervous is the time.
It's not that Abby's going to kill her and hate her for life.
And I love that when you say that she's nervous, the choreographer is like, no, it's fine because I have danced with Gaga. No need to worry about time because I have danced with Gaga. And then this little part that you go, Paige, don't you want to show Abby like when you're doing this really cool dance?
I know. Because they told me to say something. Like, what are you supposed to say? Like, Paige, Abby's going to freaking kill you when we walk out of this room.
But also, I like that you called it a cool dance because it was a lot of like body, like wiggling. You're like, this is the cool dance, Paige.
Maybe she'll use that when she's like 30.
Maybe. I think she's using it now, personally.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, she isn't.
Well, this just goes to the point that you're hiring a choreographer and Abby's giving you a hard time, but Kathy did it. Kathy did her own dance.
I know. But then she says about how my kids don't pick up quickly.
Oh,
and
God.
I think that a 30-minute private like Maddie has is going to make them win. Well,
God.
It sure as hell doesn't hurt to have a 30-minute private.
The 30-minute private isn't learning choreography. That's after the 3-hour private that learned the choreography. That 30-minute private is cleaning it.
Exactly. And we get a 30 minutes to just learn it.
I remember, and I think it comes up in season 2, when Brooke learns choreography on the bus.
Yeah.
Like actually on the bus.
Yeah. I loved though that Abby was admitting that Maddie has a private every week. Right. That's
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Well, she says if you think if your kids had a 30-minute private like Maddie, then they would win like Maddie. And you always say she doesn't have privates.
Yeah. There you are. Ab. This is what gets me though with her saying this, is that she keeps saying they don't pick up, but you're saying I just want good choreography. Not picking up has nothing to do with the quality of the choreography. Give them good choreography. They can pick up good, bad, whatever. Give them the good shit. If they're not going to pick up, let them at least have good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know why she says that, because they do the same group dances that everybody does and learns them in the same amount of time other than Maddie. So
right. But Kelly, it's an opportunity to say something negative. So why pass that up?
Yeah.
And then of course we see you crying again. And in the background, I am not wearing shoes as I'm doing Chloe's hair and makeup in that dressing room. I want to punch myself. I think I took off my shoes because
we were in there for 80 hours and our feet hurt.
Exactly. And it was carpeted. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'll just take my shoes off. No one will see me because I'm not in the audience. Meanwhile, the whole world is watching.
How about me? I didn't even have makeup on.
Yeah. Well, you're not wearing makeup. I'm not wearing shoes. What a pair we are.
I'd rather have makeup on. That was a rough night and day.
Well, neither of us showed up with our best foot forward there, but I was dead that I did not have shoes on. That makes me want to gag. All right, moving on to number 13. I mean, look, here's an opportunity to mock my nose, and that's with that nose of yours. This is another time Abby has the opportunity to talk about us paying the bills. They have the nerve because we can't pay our bills at the studio to go get Botox.
I don't understand it.
Because she just gets to say that shit about us because we're not there to defend ourselves. And so now everybody is like online typing like, you don't pay your bills. And I'm like, really? Because I have receipts. Let me pull out my receipt book.
Exactly.
And if it's something like you don't pay your bills, maybe somewhere there's like a $5 charge that I missed. And she's like, but you don't pay your bills. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just a way to make us look stupid.
We were paying for the Botox.
Yeah. Hi, the show's paying for it. But furthermore, don't you worry about where I spend my money.
Yeah. If we didn't really get much Botox.
No. I think we got one vial each.
I think I got 3 shots. That was it.
No, we did not get a whole lot of Botox. I think it equaled like $200.
Yeah.
And then this is when you're drinking from the McDonald's cup. So let's have a toast because you're drinking sweet tea vodka.
We don't have many headbands in this episode.
We sure don't. Oh my God, that orange is getting in my way. I have this tiny little glass and that orange is giant. So then Kathy announces my age. I have a ton of wrinkles for only being 34. Thank you, Kathy. And we're going to be junkies with it. And that's when she says, with that nose of yours. Because I said, I don't want anybody to mistake me for Chloe's grandma. And that's when she says, yeah, and with that nose of yours. That's a grandma nose? I don't know. What did she mean?
And that's when I am hysterical. I couldn't believe she said that. I couldn't believe she said that. But like I said in the episode when it happened, like, people used to tell us to say that kind of shit all the time. And we just were like, no. Like, when it came out of her mouth, good thing I didn't have like a drink or something in my mouth because I would have spit it on her. Maybe that would have been a good thing. It would have been funny.
They would have loved it.
But I was like...
That was wild. God. There's a little thing that's I don't think I mentioned it because there were so many other things happening in this episode, but since we have so much time to cover in this one, so I kept saying, and they didn't show this, I kept saying, I don't know if I want my Botox gone because I make a lot of mean eyes. Like I'm very expressive. Yeah. And so when we got the Botox, Holly and I, because we did Where Have All the Children Gone this episode, we kept saying, where have all the mean eyes gone? because all of our mean eyes were gone. Number 12 is what is she doing? And this, of course, is Kathy doing her infamous solo.
Yeah.
I have to say that when they show the clip of us in Pyramid, our outfits are especially fabulous this week.
What did we have on?
You had on like this purple A-line top. I had a purple dress on with these like spiky things.
Oh,
Kathy's wearing a 4-inch patent leather belt. I mean, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of shit happening in
Yeah.
Pyramid. None of it is
Yeah, we
good.
weren't good. No.
No. And Kathy is so excited to have her own special job. She got a special part even before special parts existed.
She did.
And she says that she has to make sure the choreography is simple because she's sure we have two left feet.
Two left feet. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy.
I talk about this.
Still pissed Holly didn't have to be in that dance.
Yeah. It
just because the bitch was graduating college. Like,
whatever. Whatever, Holly. That's not a good enough excuse. Just ask Abby.
Like I had something better to do that day too.
Yeah, same. But unfortunately, ours aren't excused. Ours are unexcused absences.
I was graduating from kindergarten.
I was graduating from cosmetology school or the school of costume design.
Yeah.
That's where we were.
We should have been there.
No, we could have taught the class by the end. I talk about this being my worst nightmare. And I go back to, it wasn't doing a dance. It was doing a dance on national television. Anybody in their right mind would be like, oh, that sucks.
I still can't get over my little kick I did.
Or Melissa's Grand Jeté. Melissa's Grand Jeté wins.
Now I see where my kids get in trouble because they don't point their feet, because my foot was flexed from the floor to the air, man, the whole way up. It was bent. It was flexed. Wasn't
it supposed to be flexed? Wasn't it a flexed foot?
I don't think so. I don't think it was supposed to be, but I made it that way.
How about my little jazz hands? Jazz hands.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was stupid.
I don't know how you got that move.
I made it up. I choreographed that part. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. But I love when they go to Caesar. And he's like, so disgusted. Like, why in the world are they doing this? Like, I have shit to do, and I'm sitting here watching these moms make asses out of themselves.
I actually have Caesar rolls his eyes written down.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Kathy starts, and you go, what the hell is she doing? Abby is loving it in the back. She's cackling. She changed the dance. What is she doing? She's doing a solo. And then Kathy tells us that we should have expected her to jazz it up, and we got caught with our pants down. She's got some little gems, huh? So, but Abby absolutely loves that Kathy is doing a solo. So, I guess because it's an opportunity to humiliate us.
Yeah, but again, Abby didn't teach her any of her dance moves.
What do you mean? Oh, yes.
Yeah, she taught me mine. We saw how good those were.
Yeah.
Guess I'm a slow learner like my kids.
She probably is like, I told Kelly to point her feet since 1984. That bitch still won't point her toe. She must be
not
dumb.
for you. Not for you. Flex those fuckers just because I wanted to.
Then we go
rebelling. I'm rebelling.
All right, number 11. She's wearing a 70s afro wig. Abby is telling us that Nia is still trying to find her niche. So she's helping her out by giving her a lot of different styles.
I don't know how she can call Laquifa a style of dance. Like I just don't.
What?
I just
what is
don't
it?
get
Laquifa.
it.
What? I can do Laquifa.
Yeah,
I can do that choreography.
Anybody could. It was just, and I'm not saying Nia didn't do it well. I'm just saying that the choreography was ridiculous. Like, that is not a different style of dance. Like, that's not going to get Nia a part in an African American audition.
And if I can do Laquifa based on what you saw that I could do in the mom dance, that says a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then Holly looks at the costumes and she's like, all of the other costumes are feminine and beautiful and whimsical. And I thought whimsical was a nice word.
I did too, but I just wanted to say, well, at least you didn't have to make the damn thing.
That's true. That's true.
Be happy with the leopard print or whatever it was, because you didn't have to do anything to it.
Don't kick a gift horse in the mouth.
Exactly.
Kelly would kill for that costume.
Hell yeah.
She says it's very unnerving. And then she says an afro is so stereotypical. And Abby goes, absolutely. Okay. Okay.
Like that
absolutely.
was probably the purpose of it.
But Abby is wearing a headband, so please drink.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you're drinking tea and I'm drinking coffee.
I know. It's like it's our morning.
It's morning.
Oh, cute. That's the kind of morning we need.
I like when I have a drink that I can drink out of a straw.
I do too. I should have put a straw in this.
Yeah. I don't know why. I have a hard time drinking when it's in the glass.
Holly says she's the token Black kid, and Abby starts blinking furiously. She's affluent and special, and she's just like blinking, blink, 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 blink. And I do have to remind you that I was coming from the bathroom and I heard this fight and I ran and hid back in the bathroom because I did not want to be
ran the other direction.
I literally came around the corner and I was like, oh, fuck no. And I like bolted back. I think I sat in the bathroom for 25 minutes, honestly.
Smart move.
Nope.
That's why we're friends.
That was a hard no for me. No, thank you.
You should have called me. I'd have brought you in a drink.
Yeah. That was the casino episode, so I'm sure you were. This is where we hear the infamous reference to Asmerette, who no one in the world knew what.
No one knows who Asmerette is, but Abby was very proud. And Abby always talked about her.
There's a few that Abby always brings up.
Yes.
And in later seasons, the producers would so mock it. It was never on TV, but they would be, is that a Marx reference? Like
Katie.
Oh my God, I forgot about Katie. They were all like, I forgot. I mean, not mocking these people, but mocking Abby's.
Oh no, those people were amazing. They were amazing.
But I love though when Holly is talking about how this dance has undertones and nuances that relate to negativity, and Holly wants celebratory, and Abby is sitting there like with the blankest stare on her face, and like if you had a thought bubble, it would be like, huh? She does not comprehend what is happening here. And this is when she says, you pick the music, you hire the choreographer.
And she says, and she can do the number. So she's giving her approval to get the music, get the choreographer, and she can do the number. That's the second person she allowed to do that. She just told Holly it, and she let Kathy and Vivi do it.
And she told you to do it.
But for some reason, I was tortured. And my daughter was tortured for doing it. Like, I don't get it.
This is when Holly goes, we don't have to go there. And of course, as soon as Abby is backed into a corner, what does she do? She goes after the kids. Yeah. She starts telling Holly everything wrong about Nia. She can only give Nia dances like this because of everything wrong with her.
But again, Nia is in the group dance and does everything that everybody else in the dance does.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very valid point. That is such a valid point.
Yes. And that's what she says about my kids. It's like, if my kids were that slow and Nia can't do any of the moves, how can they keep up with the group dance without private lessons, learning it early? If you think about it, they maybe are a little smarter because they're not having all the extra, let me teach you ahead of time. They're learning it in this amount of time instead of this amount of time.
Yeah, accurate. And then you could even say that about Chloe and the duet with Maddie. Because Abby said, you were my choice to do the duets with Maddie. And she constantly is talking about how Maddie's the best dancer. But Chloe keeps up pretty damn well in those duets.
You know what, though? As of right now, and I was thinking this when I forget which one we were on, but Abby, as of right now, of season one, has been very positive about Chloe.
I do agree with that.
I have never heard her say Chloe can't dance, she's slow, nothing. She always says she's very talented dancer. So you do have to give her that. She has.
I do. I think what the problem for me is that I'm so clouded by everything that's coming up. I have a hard time distinguishing season one that she hasn't done it yet because all of my memories.
My kids have just been negative. Like there's never been one thing of, oh, like you did that good. you know.
Nope.
But she has been very positive about Chloe.
I do agree with that.
I don't remember that. Like,
yeah, I don't either.
I guess just because at the end it was so negative that I forgot she was
nice at the beginning.
Yeah.
Number 10 is they look like prostitutes.
Now you said that was Minister Dawn's quote.
Yeah, Dawn used to always say they look like prostitutes. Like she constantly said that. She said it when they did all that jazz, when they were like four in red lace bustiers on chairs.
Yeah.
She's like the prostitute dance one. That she used to say it, and those costumes that we had on were a perfect example. So Abby talks about how the costumes enhance, and she thinks they're perfectly fine.
I love when she says that, why do the moms critique the costumes? She doesn't critique everything we wear.
I thought that was actually a really good line.
Yeah. I'm like, really? Like, you're going to critique what we wear? Because have you looked at your plastic jewelry?
Or the flip-flop shirt. How many times have we seen that thing? But to be fair, we did wear some doozies. So I don't fault her for that.
We did.
And then, of course, we see the girls come in, and Holly's first thing is, where's the rest of the costume?
See, I find that I disagree on that. I think
they were actually more
sleazy.
covered.
Like, if you go back and you look at our dance outfits we wore, they were just as skimpy.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was such a big ordeal.
They just looked bad because
they were sleazy looking. I don't know if it was the color and with the black lace and stuff, but as far as skimpiness goes, I'm saying like we were less in class.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. They show a shot of you and I sitting there, and our faces, we're both like, yeah, our mouths are hanging open. It's like such a funny shot of us.
I like how when like Nia comes out, and then I think Chloe came out next. I'm like, all for it. I'm like, for it. I'm like, they're just our costumes. Like, it's part of the dance.
This is what we need to wear. Did you see what everyone was wearing in Phoenix?
And then Paige comes out, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. I'm like, well, maybe I changed my mind now that I see my kid in it.
Showing off your sexy little bod.
Uh-huh. Oh,
but wait, Abby says at one point, Melissa goes, what's the hair? And she goes, French twist, curls on top. And I'm thinking, like, that's not what ends up, because we know that the banana clip makes the cameo.
Yeah.
A banana
famous
clip
banana clip.
But then
my kids threw that away. I looked again when I was home in Pittsburgh. I think they threw all my hair stuff away, all my little treasures.
That was vintage.
I know. I'm very sad.
That was
I'm buying another one.
Didn't you still have that little ring that you put your t-shirt up through from the 80s?
I still have that. You know what? This is hysterical. When we were in New York, I actually said to Brooke, I found this thing online. So I told her to get that thing. I know even where it is in my drawer in my old house. I'm like, it's in this drawer. I said, get it out and like put it through there. I'm telling you, see, that shit comes in handy when you say this. I'm going to have Brooke use it.
One thing I do want to point out that Abby assigns us to stone the costumes. You guys can get to stoning after we leave here. So there we are. She needs us.
And she hasn't paid her bill yet for our costume making, because my bill is huge.
Yeah. Especially in season 1. Huge.
Yes.
It's huge. And then Holly says they look like little tarts, which cracks me up. And there was a part that I said, I guess we're going with skin to win. And Abby goes, yes.
Absolutely. None of them have any talent, so we're going to go with the skin.
and that's when I say they look really sleazy. And you say they're really sexy. And she goes, let's not say sexy. Let's say skimpy.
Yeah. Because there's a difference there.
One thing I have to say, I think that we had the show not gotten so ugly with everything that goes on in later seasons, I think we had incredible chemistry as a cast.
Oh, absolutely.
We knew each other so well this season. Jill, when she came in, we didn't know Jill, so it was a little bit harder. Yeah. The four of us, we're going to exclude Kathy because she wasn't part of it. I mean, she was, but we didn't know like what to expect from Kathy. But like Abby, us, the kids, we had such chemistry because we had that history. And so we knew things. And had they like let us go a little bit and into the more fun stuff, the stuff with Abby in this season, for the most part, there's some ugly shit, but for the most part, like this scene with us talking to her and like, it's not sexy, it's skippy. We knew how to play off of each other.
Exactly.
It
wasn't a fight. It wasn't a fight. There was still conflict, but it wasn't a fight. And the producers didn't want that.
And it was funny.
I think we could have had 20 seasons if
absolutely.
And still had the original cast if we would have been that way, but we weren't allowed.
Probably been trying to figure out how the girls could be in the adult category now. Let them dance. Yeah. I think our chemistry was hysterical and we all knew how to play off of each other. And even you and I always got that. Like we always got that. And like Holly was fun to play off of. And Melissa was too. They just never showed that. I mean, do you remember how filthy Melissa would be upstairs? Yeah. And we would cackle. It's just, you didn't see any of it. It was so funny.
Yep.
That's kind of
like, it could have been so different. It's sad. It really is sad.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the kids were so great together. We always wanted to see more of the kids. Always. The kids were hilarious.
And people used to, like when we would live tweet and stuff, people would always say that, like, why don't they show fun stuff? Like show the kids having fun. Like, I don't know why the producers never listened to any of that stuff.
No one pushed for that more than us.
They ruined it. Yeah.
Oh, we used to push for it all the time. We were like, please stop making us fight. Well, not making us fight, but like putting us in situations.
Yeah. But they could have even like been following us, like when the kids went to college, like doing like the dance class there and, you know, going like showing how different it was from dancing with Abby's. And like they could have took so many different routes and
showing them try to make it in Hollywood.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It just could have been a totally different show, but I just really want to put it out there that we knew that and we would fight for that all the time. We would be
they
like,
wouldn't listen.
Show. Nope.
Yep.
Nope. Yep. And we also knew that we had like great chemistry and we would be like, let's do more of this stuff. And it wasn't us. Like it really wasn't.
And a lot of times we would film it and they just would cut it out.
Oh yeah.
You know, like any of that kind of stuff, they always cut out, which was stupid.
That was sad because that's the stuff I think people would have really loved. Like the drama is great, but you can balance the drama. It doesn't have to be
just
so
like
intense.
We said, like the arguing back and forth about the costumes, like we were still doing it, just wasn't like an all-out war, you know?
It didn't get ugly
to that. Yeah.
Alrighty. So number 9, who wants a mediocre kid?
Oh my god.
I hate this. Yeah. It's just rude. But we did hear that you were an original ALDC member back when Abby was 14. And we never talked about the shirt. You had the Mickey Mouse shirt. Yeah.
It says Kelly and the like
block Mickey Mouse letters or whatever.
Yeah, but they were like silver and you looked at them different ways and they were different colors or whatever.
Oh, hologram.
Yeah, that was like famous shirt. Yes.
Like if you got that shirt, you had made it.
Yeah.
So you're an OG.
Oh, I'm definitely an OG. Like let's put it this way. The first time we competed, it was like such a big deal. Like I can remember, you know how we always had to have like the lipstick to match and this. Our first costume, I'll have to show you pictures of it. I think it might be actually on the Lifetime website, but in a like a blue outfit that was like low cut with.
Oh, I know exactly what outfit.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Abby made such a big deal about like going to the makeup store and getting us like the royal blue makeup to match. And it's so funny to look back because like that was the first time she ever did something like that. And like I was a part of that. And then now she's on television doing it. Like it's just crazy like how we
evolved,
like, went through all of that together. Yeah, it was crazy. Cause like, I mean, it was like such, I remember us clear as day sitting in the hotel room, all of us trying to do each other's makeup. I mean, it was
with crazy. The blue eyeshadow.
With this blue crazy eyeshadow.
Abby, though, has your kid's best interest in mind. She tells us that in that interview. And then she says, you just go off the deep end. So then we cut to the shot of us all sitting in the sewing circle. You're sewing. Abby's wearing a headband.
Okay. I got to go back to she had my kid's best interest in mind, because I'm having a hard time believing that when she allows my kids to go on stage with no music and no costumes
and no choreography.
How's that their best interest? If that's your best interest,
could you imagine her worst?
With friends like that, you don't need enemies, right?
You do, however, give her a list of ideas of how to teach if what she's doing isn't working, and she's very confused. Then you guys get into this big argument of why do you only want mediocre? And you say that's the way they are. But you needed to say, according to who my kids are mediocre? Like, in what way are my kids mediocre?
But was it worth arguing with her?
I know, but
I really don't care what she thinks. And I don't think my kids are mediocre. I think my kids were being screwed, because when my daughter did get good choreography, my daughter had how many crowns, Christy?
I know. I know.
Like as many as Maddie.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about that,
Exactly.
So people don't know that.
Exactly.
So they get the edit with the teeth picking instead of the crown feature.
Exactly.
She does say that she wants to smack their heads together. Ugh. And you're arguing that they dance for 12 hours and go to school for 8 hours and they're kids. And then she says, Brooke has another crown. And here we have it. Now, please reenact it for us. Ab, do you want the crown back?
Take that crown and shove it up your ass, because we don't want it.
I do believe after that because I think Brooke had won a DEA crown, and I think that she was going to make you call DEA and tell them that they can shove the crown up their ass. Could you imagine her forcing you on the phone to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly, what did Abby do to make you say that?
Mr. Charles loved Brooke.
Oh, right, because he liked acro for sure.
Oh my, yeah, he loved her.
Chloe's very first little special award was from DEA, Twinkle Toes, because she was a little ballerina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, DEA was always good to our kids. Number 8, I think it just said one mom. And Abby talks about how one mom has a lot of sass, a lot of attitude, and her behavior always kept us guessing. However, when you're on a team, you need to work together. And she doesn't always do this. And we see, Kathy walking through the front yard, and she is holding Broadway Baby's fancy cousin, because Broadway Baby's fancy cousin has a clean face. Kathy has a little white. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
A Bichon Frise. Isn't that what Broadway Baby is?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But Kathy's little white dog has a very clean face. So she's like the city mouse.
Well, it probably doesn't eat like Burger King and stuff.
In McDonald's.
Get it all over its face.
Free Broadway Baby. Free her. So then we get into the whole escapade where you need to borrow Vivi's costume. But God. Abby tells us this is one of those things that she says. It's just a little teeny tiny thing she says, but it makes people believe this is true. And I'm like, that is bullshit. She said, I drew, I sketched, I had it made, and I paid for that costume. No, you didn't. The show did.
No, the show did. But even if, let's say that was true, she said that, so people think that's true. If Abby did it and paid for it, then it's basically her costume. So why didn't she stand up to Kathy and say, it's my costume, Brooke can wear the top if she wants to, or if I want her to? Like, why wasn't that part of the storyline instead of me having to fight about it? It's Abby's costume. She can have whoever she wants wear it.
But Abby doesn't even come out and ask Kathy. She's like suspiciously petting it, looking at you, being like you wear this costume, because she doesn't have the nerve to fight with Kathy about it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She basically said it's her costume. She paid for it and she drew it. And she sketched it. So why does she have to have Kathy's permission to wear it? I don't get that.
And she tells us that when Kathy takes that off of Brooke's back, that it played with her psyche, her emotions, and it was just nasty. Yeah, I do agree. That is why you were fighting about it. But when Brooke puts on her other costume, it really makes me laugh, because you go, oh, that is just ugly.
I mean, Christy, do you remember that costume?
I do. When she walked out, I was like, that is not real.
I have never seen a costume had stickers on it.
It did have stickers. Where did they even get those?
Those polka dots were stickers. That was not the fabric. It was stickers. And the arm came up to like
and
here.
It was skin tight with all those little loops.
It was horrible.
Oh, Abby's wearing a headband. So drink.
Oh, yay.
When Brooke finally does put the costume on, Kathy is just bitching. And it cuts then to the fight. And she says she doesn't want Paige, whatever your kid's name is, to wear the costume. Like,
was that rude?
Such a team player. Yes, it was rude.
She's a great team player. She doesn't even know my kid's name.
Then you say, sharing is what our group does, and go back to your studio. She says, I'm here to stay, so like it. And you go, I don't.
Nobody does.
And she says, you need to like it. This conversation is actually ludicrous. So like it. I don't. You need to like it. And then you say, hire one of your sewing ladies, and you had the audacity to throw the costume.
But guess who fixed the costume?
I know. The next day we see you working on it.
Yes. Not her famous little, crew that she has that does all of her costuming for her stuff. It was me again doing another costume, not even for my kid. And I gave Maddie my costume. That's why I didn't have a costume.
Yeah, we did get smart after that and start bringing multiple backups. God.
Well, I did have a backup, and I gave it to Maddie, and then my kid got screwed.
Yeah, that there you go. See that? Look what happens when you're nice and a team player. You get screwed. Then we have one of your other favorite lines of mine. She will beat their ass wearing a fucking leotard.
And I meant it. I did. I meant it.
Kelly starts talking about her sickled feet. I just remember being so offended when she brought up sickled feet. I think I actually whispered to you after everybody left the room. I was like, our kids don't have sickled feet. It was such an
especially Brooke.
And then Kathy's gonna bring it on, and you're like, bring it on, and this will haunt us for the rest of Dance Moms. Kelly, thank you. Number 7 is Deer in Headlights.
Oh God.
And Abby tells us she gets upset when mistakes happen because she's corrected them in the studio a million times and doesn't understand when they still make them on stage. How do you correct somebody for getting their choreography because their music has changed?
The day of the competition. And she says to go out and just keep dancing. Paige didn't even know the beat of the music. How was she? I mean, otherwise she wouldn't have been to the music, whatever. I mean, it was I can't even speak about it because that was so unfair to Paige.
It was very unfair. But what's funny, here's another contradiction. When Chloe forgot her dance, she said, why didn't she just run in a circle and go off stage? With Paige, she said, why didn't you keep dancing? So there's two different conflicting directions there. So if the kids have heard Paige should have left the stage or Chloe did that, they're confused. Chloe tried to keep dancing and she ended up rolling to the floor and touching her face or whatever. And Abby's like, you should have left the stage. Where Paige left the stage and she's like, you should have kept dancing. So it's so confusing.
They don't know what to do.
No, but Abby says it's humiliating and she's humiliated and Paige should be humiliated.
And Paige was humiliated.
I was just going to say
doing it in front of a million people on television, and it wasn't her fault.
No, don't worry, Abby.
And they don't show the truth. They only show Paige looking stupid. They don't show what everybody did to her to make it happen.
No,
it's ridiculous.
You never see the background. Never. Number 6, my favorite phrase of all time. Everyone's replaceable.
Oh, yay.
Blech. We hear that Kathy isn't going to Vegas, but I remember Kathy really hating Vegas. I don't know why she had such a thing against Vegas. That was one place she always talked about why she hated it.
She wouldn't go, yeah.
She talks about how she didn't bargain for this type of travel. Abby says, why can't Vivi go with someone else? And Kathy says, Vivi won't go with anyone else. Honestly, Vivi's 6. I'm not shocked at that.
She don't even know any of us. I get that.
That's ridiculous. Kathy says, this just isn't working for us. And then Abby says, everyone's replaceable. And then Kathy does retort with one of my favorites, even dance teachers.
Dance teachers. Yes.
And she says she's a quitter, but she is wearing a headband. So, like, we didn't quit the headband look. Yay. But here's what I want to point out about Kathy. Now, you and I joke around a lot about Kathy on this podcast because we're reacting to Kathy's character and like what we were dealing with. But I'm going to say, in real life, from my perspective, I think Kathy was really screwed in season 1 of Dance Moms because the schedule was unbelievably grueling. We have said that over and over and over again. And Kathy lived 2 hours away. Plus, she had a studio with a business. Okay. And so she would be expected to drive to Pittsburgh to like do all of that stuff that we were doing. And then she was staying in a hotel room during the week. And then she would go away on the weekends to the dance competitions. And then she had one day to go back to Ohio and do the thing she needed to do on a Sunday where we were at least sleeping on our own beds, where she was like in a hotel. And then when it came to, hey, we're going on the road for 6 weeks, she did have a studio that had nationals going on and that she needed to be with her group. And they're not showing any of that. We all complain about how hard it was on our families, which it was, but we weren't away. We were at least
not
home.
Yet.
Yeah. Like we were at least home. So I definitely think Kathy wanted to do the show, but she couldn't because it was just impossible.
Well, that's why they switched it, that she was going to compete against us because then she could be at home.
Yeah. And so I think she gets a bad rap like that, but I honestly remember her just being like so frustrated behind the scenes. And I totally understood because it was terrible. It was a hard schedule. And I just wanted to say that because I do think that we always give Kathy a hard time. But again, we're reacting to the bullshit that we're like watching on TV. Kathy, we totally get it. And we had your back. And I actually loved when candy apples came. So yay, candy apples.
Yeah, it kind of left some pressure off of us.
100%. So loved it. All right. Number 5, they call me La Cuifa. And Abby starts by telling us that she's sick of Holly complaining. So she's going to bring in Shangela. I freaking love this whole scene. This was so fun. I wish we had done more stuff like this.
I know.
It was hysterical.
I love Brooke. Brooke is hysterical laughing when she goes.
We're hysterical when you see us.
Stop.
The kids are screeching. Holly's speechless. You've never seen a drag queen. Don't worry, you're going to see about 9,000 of them throughout your Dance Moms career.
Yes, I know.
And then she does the death drop. Love when Nia loses it. And then we get one of my favorite Abby lines from the show. Nia is a black diva. Shangela is the black diva. So she brought her in.
I loved when Nia did the death drop on that.
Oh my God.
I thought it was great.
It was great.
It was
great. So fun. And Shangela said the crowd will go wild. And they did.
Yep.
They did. And then Nia continues to use the death drop throughout her career.
Yeah. But you missed one of Abby's lines. She says
what?
That she always choreographs creative routines that highlights my girls. Oh. And we're talking about the Laquifa dance. That is a creative routine that highlights Nia, that's for sure. Of all dances to say that about, I don't know about Laquifa.
I think one of my favorite parts is when Nia's learning the death drop. She's doing like this infamous drag queen move, and she has giant, big
those
Mickey
yellow
Mouse flowers.
I have that wrote down. Nia and her big old bows.
The juxtaposition of that is so freaking funny.
And the other thing is when Laquifa comes out, it's like her hat is definitely sewn into her hair.
Oh yeah,
because it's like barely on her head.
It's flopping around. It's animal print, Holly. Oh, so funny. Laquifa was one of my favorite moments. It really was. Number 4. Are you jealous of an 8-year-old? First, she says Chloe is a beautiful dancer, but when I interrupted her private time and came unannounced, and she let me have it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote, I hate this scene. I didn't even watch it. I'm like, I hate this scene. I hate everything about this scene. So I just kind of
was like, what I noticed? What? Before you go into her hotel room, you're standing outside doing like a little interview, like OTF thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you notice the paint peeling off the walls behind you?
I didn't, but that's rumor for you.
Like, could they have not found a wall that didn't have paint peeling off?
Seriously.
Like, it's like 2 big spots of paint, like peeling off.
Only the best for Dance Moms, Cal. Only the best for us. That's really funny. Abby wants to be like Maddie. We know this has been established. And then I say Chloe is Chloe and it's good enough. And I just wrote, I watched this on mute. I can't stand this scene.
Oh, here's the one thing I liked is when you're in the room and you're arguing back and forth and she tells you that you should love Chloe unconditionally.
Yes.
Okay. But because you're saying she's not as good as Maddie, but you should love her unconditionally. But I'm not supposed to love my kids unconditionally because mine are mediocre. So why is it that she constantly contradicts herself? Like, you should love Chloe unconditionally, even though she's not as good as Maddie, but Kelly, you shouldn't. You should want yours to be more than mediocre.
And you shouldn't love them if they're only mediocre.
Yeah.
That's bad parenting. She always says it's bad parenting. That's bad parenting.
Yeah.
Number 3, consider it brought. Kathy is quirky and funny.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault. But she didn't have what it takes to be on the team. And is she really going to come to LA on Abby's turf? Why is LA Abby's turf? I was confused by that.
You know, she says that somewhere else, something else about LA. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I can see Penn Hills being her turf, but not... I
just was going to say her turf is Penn Hills.
Yeah, not LA. I mean, maybe she could say that in season 5, like when they go there. But like at this point, I'm thinking Penn Hills is her.
Yes, her turf.
Yeah.
In comes Kathy in the dressing room with her little Red Riding Hood getup. And I just love our faces. Our faces are hysterical in this scene. Yeah. And we really are one team. Like, we have Abby's back. And this is what I'm saying about the chemistry. Like, we would have had her back, but she just didn't allow any of that. We would have, even coming up in season 2, when we go on The View, which we will talk about, we had her back. We had her back for sure. I don't even think it was the episode that aired with us on The View. It was the first time we went that didn't air. We had her back. So I don't want to hear that we're terrible people, because when push came to shove, we always had her back. Yeah. But one thing I thought was funny is that Abby said, so you're here at the hotel? And Kathy goes, yeah, I don't like it. Never liked the hotel. Good thing she wasn't in Vegas. No, this was in LA. Good thing she wasn't in Rumor.
Yeah.
Vivian Justice are doing a duo, and then someone told me to bring it on. Then we get a nice tight shot of you. And then she starts ripping on Abby's choreography. And Abby is like, this is a professional ripping on another professional. Who does that? But wait, then she immediately rips on Kathy's kid.
Yeah. And then she says her kids are failures because they're not on Broadway. Like,
who does that?
Exactly. That's just as bad.
Failure, whatever. Number 2, no weapon, just her mouth. Here comes Dawn. And
Dawn definitely had a crazy mouth that day.
She did have a crazy mouth. She did. And Abby says that all of us are a little crazy, but nothing compares to the sinister minister.
Gosh.
Reagan had on socks and a t-shirt. I had never in my life knew that socks were so offensive.
Me either. I mean, I knew we weren't supposed to wear them into gymnastics class, but to get this extreme over a pair of socks, I thought was crazy.
Insanity. Absolute insanity. And I love when Dawn first walks in, she goes, I don't care if you're taping.
Yeah.
She, like, literally. And then the fight ensues. And the fight is so wild because, like, Abby is actually running from her the entire time through the studio.
I know. She's chasing her.
She's chasing her. And
but I love when they get out to the front desk and Abby says that she's right because her name is on the front of the building. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should buy a building and put my name on it so I can always be right, you know?
Yeah.
Like if that makes you right, like I'm just going to put a name out on front of my building.
That's my building. I'm going to put Casa de Christi out here so my kids know I'm right all the time.
Yeah.
You forgot your favorite line, though. You want to play the Bible game?
I know. I couldn't believe they were like talking about that kind of stuff. They aired that.
And then Dawn starts screaming about what Jesus would do.
Oh my goodness.
People thought we were insane because it's insane. And then this is when Dawn says about Abby's education. She doesn't value education, which obviously, but Abby doesn't understand anyone's point but her own. She doesn't. I mean, that's obvious.
She doesn't have to. Her name's on the building.
Right. And she has 911 on speed dial, thankfully. So she calls the cops and she gives the infamous line, she doesn't have a weapon, just her mouth, using the teeny tiny Zoolander phone. Yeah. And then the police come and they're like, if you don't like the way they dance here, you should go somewhere else. Could you imagine being a cop and having to like have this conversation?
I told you they hated it.
Yeah, I'm sure they hated it because there was plenty of other things but they needed to be worried about in Penn Hills.
Yeah.
Other than
I can't believe that Abby was calling them downright stupid.
I missed that. What are you talking about?
She kept them when they were chasing around. They were talking about being stupid, and they were Abby was talking about Dawn and Reagan.
I did not pick up on that. Yeah. I didn't like when she was yelling at Reagan at the front desk. She did that a lot where she was in a fight with a mom. She would like look at the kid and like yell at the kid and say stuff. But I didn't realize that she was calling them stupid. I probably blocked it out, honestly.
Yeah, there was something on there something about them being stupid. I was like,
ugh. And then I knew the entire time I was watching this, I knew I was going to take the top spot, top of the pyramid.
Hey, man, you made it to the top of the pyramid.
Worst moment. And it's me. Yay. And she can't believe it even happened. It surprised even her. And then she goes on to say that we won everything that day and I completely lost control. She's never seen a mother this out of control. What was I thinking? What was I drinking?
That was my favorite line. I don't know what Christi was thinking or what Christi was drinking.
Such a bitch. Like, I'm not even going to rehash it. If you want to hear about it, go back and listen to episode 4. I mean, I rehashed this shit so much.
You made me rehash my shit.
I mean, look, what do you want to say? There was a lot that went into it, blah, blah, blah. I followed them all day. I tried to get them in the hallway. I hate myself. Not my finest moment. I wish I had never made Maddie cry. The end. There we are, buttoned up.
I love when Melissa tells you, bite my ass. Did you hear that? It's kind of like, it's like not on her. Like she's like picking up all of her stuff and she's like, bite my ass.
I do like them when everyone's leaving the room. Like you have her children. She grabbed all the trophies. She's like running down the hall with like trophies falling out of her arms. Gotta get those trophies.
Don't worry. I got Maddie and Kenzie.
Yeah, Melissa has the trophies. Thank God there wasn't a crown involved. Jesus, that would have been like out of control. So this was not my favorite, but not shocking because again, like I said, this is like Christi and Kelly humiliation hour, but it's also just a chance for Abby to get the last word.
I loved at the end how they had them little funny moments.
Yes, I only saw 2 or 3 of them because my thing cut out. Tell us what they were.
They had Melissa pushing Abby in the pool.
I did see that
at the pool party. Then Vivi going like this with her eyes.
Oh yes, I saw that.
And then Maddie doing a little crazy dance move and Nia doing a little crazy dance move. And then the very end, it was like Paige kissing the camera.
Aww.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
That is cute. See, more of that, less fighting. More of that, less fighting.
Uh-huh.
Are there any clothes that stand out bottom of the pyramid? I have one.
What?
Brooke's clown costume.
Oh, yes. That was so bad. That was absolutely ridiculous.
I'll say that was the worst. I mean, that's not even an adult, but I think it deserved to be at the bottom of the pyramid. You know what we've been forgetting to do?
What?
Felonies or misdemeanors.
Well, I think we had a bunch of felonies here.
Well, this was a felony heavy episode.
Yeah, I think
this was all of our felonies.
Maybe we should skip that again next week.
We'll get back to felonies.
We'll get back on that next week. Because I'm pretty sure almost every other one I had a felony. It'll take too much time for me to recap that.
We just got life without parole.
Yes.
Okay. What about how many drinks did it take you to get through this episode? This one was hard because it's all of our bad stuff.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna go with 5, 6.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say 6, but
it wasn't as bad as the build up in the other episodes.
Like when we were watching the full episode, it was definitely more stressful for me than and I think it's because we just rehashed it all. So I kind of got it all out of my system before this. Maybe I'll go down to a 5.
I would say 4 or 5. Favorite lines. There were so many of them.
I had when Abby said, all the mums are crazy, but not like Sinister Minister. Oh, I had one more. I liked when Melissa said, bite my ass. Because Melissa never said anything. So it was
true.
Like.
That's true. So we'll give it to her. There's a couple. I mean, I thought there was a lot. I personally liked she will beat their ass wearing a fucking leotard. That one's pretty good, I have to say. When you compile them like this, there's just so many. Wait, what was the other one I liked? There was one other one. Hold on. Where is it?
Oh, I had a ton of them.
I liked everyone's replaceable, even dance teachers. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else? What are we forgetting? Oh, we said we're going to pick our top 3 favorite moments from the season.
You didn't give me any time to think about that.
I mean, they could be on and off camera. And these are in no particular order. I'm going to say I really love, this is my favorite scene of the moms, is the ice bar, because it was right before the show premiered and we were excited. I love that. I also, I was going to say, I love the scene of Chloe getting the music video, but I honestly love her doing Black Swan more because it's dancing, it's exciting, and she redeemed herself. And I think that she was great in that number. So I think Black Swan might be my favorite, Chloe moment of this season. Oh, I forgot about Dream on a Star. I love that one too. Okay, those are my ties. Those are my ties. But then I would have to say my favorite moment from this season is Steve from Winefest.
You're such an ass. You weren't even there.
I know. Which is maybe why I love it the most. I mean,
you're an ass.
I really love Steve from Winefest. That might take it for me.
Gosh.
3-pound lobsters. That was good.
That was my favorite thing off camera was the 3-pound lobsters for sure. And I liked the ice bar. I think that was the funnest time we had during season 1. You know, we really didn't get to go out and do much. So I think that was a lot of fun. And it was because it was on camera. You know, like the lobster and stuff that wasn't on camera. So I liked that was on camera. I really can't say I liked any of my kids' dances this season. I mean, no. I liked Metamorphosis of Brooke.
Where Have All the Children Gone? But Brooke featured.
I did like Where Have All the Children Gone? But Metamorphosis wasn't a dance for the show.
No, that was Brooke's solo.
Yeah, so I can't really say that I liked it because of the show, because it really wasn't a show dance. Mm-hmm. I did love, that was probably my favorite group dance was
Where Have All the Children Gone?
Where Have All the Children Gone? For sure.
Yeah, I mean, those are all good moments. There's a million. I think we talk about them in every episode, like what we liked, what was fun. You know, maybe we should do that for season 2. Each episode pick our favorite moment, not just the worst or the favorite line, but our favorite moment, what we did, what was hysterical, what was
half
fun.
The time I don't remember half the stuff, but
I know. But then when I tell the story, you remember.
Yeah.
So good thing I have an elephant brain.
Good.
I know it comes in handy. Well, okay. So next week we're going to do something a little bit different. We have something special planned for you guys. So it's not an episode recap. So you do have a minute before you need to watch.
Well, I don't know if we should do that on my day to narrate, because I don't remember anything.
Well, we can just do it like a conversation, and then you can narrate season 2, episode 1. You can just start with that one. We can just talk about it, not narrate. Is that better? Okay. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay. Well, we will catch you on the after party. So thanks for listening.
Hey.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Back to the Bar.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen to your podcasts.
And check out our YouTube channel, Back to the Bar, if you want to watch the episodes. The channel is linked in our show notes.
And if you want to join our weekly after party,
where we dish even more dirt,
like naked pizza, Kel, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/backtothebar. See you next time.
See you next time.
Baby, I just wanna dance, dance.